Landscape much like the moon waterless. And apparently lost Oka life July 20th. 1976. The world anxiously awaits the first ever images from the surface of Mars. 5 degrees per second. Applause. If you take a look at the first color picture and you see this big rock out. They're called Big Joe. That was about 25 or 30 feet from the lander. If we had hit that rock, the lander would have been smashed. Turned over upset. We had no hazard avoidance whatsoever, just a lot of luck, if you will. December 1st, 2019. The Curiosity rover completes a panorama made of 1 billion pixels after climbing a Martian mountain. Music. So how did we get here? What did we find along the way, and have we already answered the question of life on Mars in the same year that NASA took 1 billion pixel image of the surface of Mars? Professor William Ramos, an entomologist from Ohio University, said, "Images captured by NASA rovers clearly show fossilized and living creatures." Ramos was an entomology professor at Ohio University for 45 years and co-founded its Tropical Disease Institute. In an interview, he said there is apparent diversity among the Martian insect-like fauna, which displayed many features similar to Terran insects that are interpreted as advanced groups. For example, the presence of wings, wing flexi on agile gliding, and variously structured leg elements. People have been seeing things on Mars for years. Way back in 1877, Percival Lowell thought he saw canals on Mars. More recently, people thought they saw a face. In 1976, the Viking 1 spacecraft was circling Mars and captured this image of what appears to be a face haunting the Martian landscape. People claim that this was an ancient structure built by our ET neighbors. NASA, however, disagreed. The image had gained such widespread acclaim that NASA revisited the site in 2001, orbiting above the region named Cydonia and capturing a much higher resolution image, proving this to be a standard Martian hill. People have even suggested trees have been captured on the Martian surface, which appeared to wax and wane with the seasons. Other photographed objects include a fish, a human thigh bone, a giant tadpole, a cannonball, and even a female statue. But all of this is a function of the human brain. It's called pareidolia. One of the functions of the human brain is to spot faces in the forest. Probably a survival instinct of our ancient ancestors. How many times have you looked at the moon and seen a face? Looking back, we are wired to see faces in the weird. So Percival Lowell's canals on the face of Mars were just an artifact from his telescope. The Mars face turns out to be quite a normal rock formation, and the Martian creepy crawlies just rocks, because we all suffer from the brain disease pareidolia. While pareidolia can explain why we see complex formations in the Martian rocks, could it still be possible for some specialized organisms to thrive on Mars? Well, in 2019, an international team of scientists proposed that NASA had photographed mushrooms, lichens, and various types of fungi thriving on the Martian rocks. They published a paper so controversial that 3 of those who reviewed it flat out rejected it, and one of these reviewers even carried on trying to remove the paper after it was approved by a majority of scholars. The images they reference do have some striking similarities to fungus on Earth. But could this be another example of pareidolia? Some NASA images show what appears to be fungus on the surface. Almost everything is possible, but they are more likely to be rocks made of hematite. These rocks were probably solidified by water and eventually released by erosion. The authors themselves state that they don't have a smoking gun, no definitive proof, just a lot of similarities that shout biology. NASA hasn't commented on the paper, but the round pebble-like rocks are